All right, welcome to Schoology. Step by step, this is step 3, which is course settings. Course settings, you can adjust a few things. Some of this you're actually just going to make sure. In order to access the settings, you're going to click on your course. So this is my personal course. You're going to go to course options and then click on edit privacy/course settings. The first thing it'll bring up is this privacy tab. All of these settings are fine the way they are, though leaving your course profile specific to maybe the school, just so that people can find your class if they need to. Really won't make too much of a difference, but everything else is restricted to the course, which is exactly what you want. The other settings over here are posting course updates, commenting on course updates, and editing discussion responses. All of these are reserved for course admins. So you do want to make sure that if this should be checked for your classes, but you do want to double check this. The other setting in this page is the default landing page, and it's either set to course materials, which is your folders and your actual course information. The other option is updates, which is basically the stream of announcements and other things that you post. So if you want that to be the default landing page, especially if you put weekly agendas or other information as an update, and you'd rather students see that first instead of course materials, that's the way that you can set it. Otherwise, you can leave it at materials, in which case that's the first thing that they see. So some of this will be certainly personal preference. So you save these changes. The rest of these settings are either things you can't change or nothing that's really that important. You might be able to edit the details of your class, but again, it's not really all that important, especially for us where we don't have set meeting days since we have a rotation schedule. Maybe you want to put room number and perhaps a description, but it's definitely not necessary. Okay, so once those privacy settings are set, we'll go back to our course. All right, let's talk about the grading. So in your course, you go to grade setup. Now, mind you, Schoology does not yet support a SIS connection, and so it's not linked in SIS. So you can set your weights, you can set your categories the way that you do in your classes. So some of these are here already. Some of them you have to add yourself. So depending on how you like to set up your weights. So maybe you like to do just formative as the bulk of your stuff, or a large majority of it. And then maybe summative is set to, let's say, 45%. Right. So we got 30%, 45%. We got 10. 15 might be projects. And as you can see, the percentage is matching these categories. So you can use whatever weights you like. You can add new ones by clicking the add button, and this will add a new category. You don't want to mess with the drop lowest. And then if you want to set the weights for it as you normally do, you can do that. Now, Schoology also has different grading scales. So if you usually use a numeric scale, you can do that. If you use a 4.0, also, very doable. And it does give you the standard Fairfax County letter grade as well. If you wanted to add a new scale, you could do that as well by going to the add button, and then do the letter grade, and then the how this would convert into your scale. So you can basically copy that over from SIS if you wish. Now, the other part about this is a little star. So let's say most of the work that I do in Schoology is actually like formative, like little quick assignments. You can click next to the percentage, and now the star will be next to formative. And what that will do is set formative as the default type of assignment when you're creating new assignments in Schoology. So that's not really that big of a deal. Most other stuff you don't want to mess with. The rest of these settings are fine. This will probably change when we are in this for real. So you'll see this for real in August. with the standard calendar and grading periods. So again, this is totally optional, much like in Google Classroom. Sometimes you put assignments on there, and sometimes you just use that as a way to collect work, and then you're just putting the final grades in SIS. One thing that Schoology does offer you is the ability to add rubrics, and you can add rubrics to assignments. So maybe you want to add a new rubric and create that for different projects that you use, or IB or something to that effect. So you have that available to you here. So once you have this all set the way that you like it, let's say you use these categories in other classes, you can go to copy settings, and you can copy these things and then select the classes that you wish to copy this to, and then hit copy. So you don't have to necessarily do this in every class with the grading. You just have to set it up in one per prep, and then use the copy settings to do that. So that's about it as far as settings go. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.